Boss Attorney Bri here. Have you ever wondered how you can trademark your logo without a lawyer? Today, we're going to talk about it. All right, we're back in my office. So let's just kind of get over the basics. Filing a logo mark is a lot different than filing a word mark trademark, because in this sense, you are protecting the actual design of your logo. Your logo can include words, and your words will be falling under that trademark protection, but it only protects the actual design and those words in that design. If you actually register a trademark as just the words, your trademark is protected with those words in any design that you decide to put them into. So when balancing whether you should trademark a logo or a word mark, it's normally better for you to trademark your word mark unless your logo is super special to your business and your customers recognize your business under that logo. Sometimes it's a good idea to register a logo over a word mark if there is already a trademark within the same class you need to file in, and it may be considered confusingly similar to your trademark. In general, a word trademark protects you more than a logo trademark, but there are instances where it is a better idea to have your logo protected, as given by the example earlier, if someone has already trademarked within your class and you still want to trademark your name. Now, you may ask,
Attorney Bri, why wouldn't I just do a copyright?
Because your copyright is simply to protect you from having someone else steal your design and make it into their own, redistribute it, rather than your logo identifying your brand under a trademark and people trying to sell stuff and pass it off as your actual brand. Your copyright gives you the right to recreate, copy, distribute, make derivatives of your copyright or of your logo, and it usually requires some pretty special elements to be met in order to qualify a logo for an actual copyright. It has to be considered an original work. So most of the time, it is better to get your logo trademarked rather than to get it copyrighted. If you are finding this valuable, make sure to hit the subscribe and the like button and keep watching this video. But I know that you all came here to learn how to actually file your trademark with the federal government, and we're going to jump right into doing that. The first thing that you want to do is make sure that your name is actually available, because remember, having a trademark is to distinguish your brand from the brand of another, which means that you cannot have the same name as someone else. So the first thing that you're going to do is search the federal government's website to find out whether your trademark name is still available and your logo design is still available within the class that you will be filing in. So we're going to hop on over to the uspto.gov and we're going to do a basic word mark search. You're going to go ahead and click on the trademark button at the top of the website. You're then going to click on search trademarks online, and then you're going to click on the basic word mark search. Once you do that, if your logo has words in it, you are going to type in those words and find out whether you actually have a trademark available. And the really cool thing about trademark searches on the USPTO is that you can click this button here at the top of the screen to make images pop up on your trademark search. This image search is something that a lot of attorneys will never show you how to do. So take full advantage of this video and make sure you like and subscribe if you have not already. I'm also going to let you in on another attorney bonus secret and teach you how you can search your design of your trademark simply by using the word and design search function. So you go ahead, you go into this section, you'll enter in your name or the design that you are looking to find. You can also even put in your class number to see whether they are within the same category you will be filing in. If you are confused with me saying class number, do not worry. We're going to get right into that in just a moment. So you'll head over to the ID manual and you will type in the types of products or services that you would like to use. Make sure you check everything that you may use in the future, even if you're not using it quite yet. You can remove, but you cannot add things to your trademark application. So if you end up expanding within that same class and you do not include it in that class, then you're going to have to file another trademark for the same class when it could have just been handled within your first trademark application. Remember, you do not have to include everything if they're falling into different classes and you want to wait to file for a different class, but you do want to include everything if you intend to expand within that same class. So your international class is basically the category that you will be filing your mark into. In order to register your trademark, it must fall within certain classes in order to be eligible. The classes usually include similar things that could become confusingly similar to your trademark. So if you're filing for apparel, you're likely going to include things like shirts, pants, shoes, socks. But if you're filing for something like cosmetics, you're going to include things like lotions, makeups, things like that. So those things will fall into that same class. If you are doing different things such as having a coaching program and then also having apparel, you're probably looking at filing within 2 classes. So just keep a lookout for that. Step 2 is to determine which classes your goods or services fall into. There are 45 classes that you can register your trademark in.
Say what?
And lastly, the thing that you want to do before filing your trademark application is to put together specimens that you are actually using your trademark. If you're not using your trademark and you're filing an intent to use application, then you do not necessarily need to put your specimens within the application, but we'll get into that on a later video. So make sure you subscribe to make sure you don't miss that video. Your specimen is basically proof that you are actually using your trademark. So you have to submit it with your application because the only way that you can get a trademark is to be using your trademark within commerce. And in this case, you will be using your logo within commerce in connection with your goods or services. So you want to make sure that your logo is properly placed on whatever you are using your specimen as. If you are using a specimen for a website, then your logo needs to appear exactly the same as it would appear on the JPEG version of your logo that you attach to your application. If your logo stays the same color, then you want to make sure that you claim a right to the color that your trademark is in. If your trademark changes color all the time, then you do not want to claim any right to color within your trademark application. But you can submit a black and white photo and say that you are making no claim to the right to use a certain color, which means that you can change the color of your trademark as you please. Bonus tip. Make sure you include a description in your trademark that gives you the broadest protection under that logo design as possible. Check out some of the trademark applications that have already been filed for logos to see how they describe their trademark, and especially look at the ones that look similar to yours to help you determine how you should describe the elements of your trademark. If you found this video very helpful and you want to take a step-by-step walkthrough through the actual trademark application, make sure you check out this video here. If you have not already, make sure you subscribe to this channel and like this video so that it helps me out in the algorithm. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.